I can make a coach me maybe look up a father. I just want to see for the nostalgia. Shit. I got some hours, but
check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, it's the Commanders' Offensive Player of the Year. He's putting together one of the better seasons in league history. It's the Commanders and the Steelers, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington Commanders. Drive with Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams sprint plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and rankings, they don't matter to him very much. I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first. I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. The first carry now. This is Williams. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commanders first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but these guys send it to the types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll look to throw now on first down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. And worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. A great play there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. The kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball. Got a full game ahead of him. Hand it to him again. See if they can start to produce.
Wide open receiver complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now throwing on 1st down here. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
No, they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. The football a second time, and it's Washington that scoops it up, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out
what on that ball.
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on? Back-to-back drives, back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
They go play action here on 1st down. Open man there is Malone. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Malone. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Williams. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. T.J. Watt in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Commanders lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Still 1st quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discover.
Let's see some effect.
Throwing the ball to him.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look at... Think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And this is why
they get him down, but not
I keep not trying to fuck him too much, but he keep breaking these big runs.
17 yards and a first down. Anyone who watched
So this is
Najee
right
Harris in
now.
Alabama knows the kind
Every
of
time he
strength
do
that this
this,
guy runs with, and he's
gonna
continuing
fumble.
on that path here at the next level.
And when a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Howell to the air on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put back?
Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Boy, a tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try to take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. Oh, what a juke into space. Touchdown,
Charles, his offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are.
Yeah, I think the cameraman at the end.
Overstate how explosive teams are. This team is truly a threat to score at every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And if they start like that, then only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab.
Turned the key, fumbling in their panic. Harry pulled the door open and they ran inside.
So how about this
Hermione
for a
Granger
start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick
as if
this
she
one
was about
away.
to faint.
This am I out of both quickly.
And this will not be
You know.
touchback. They'll never get at the 25.
What's going on? Don't take me down, YouTube.
Playoff picture in the AFC. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive.
Yo.
Yelled Ron from the other side of the chamber.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The troll didn't even seem to notice the pirate in his shoulder, but it heard the yell and paused again, turning his ugly snout toward Ron instead, giving Harry time to run around. Come on, run! Harry yelled at Hermione, trying to
so crazy.
move the door, but she couldn't. She was so flat against the wall, her mouth open with terror. The shouting and the echoes seemed to be driving the troll berserk. It roared again and started toward Ron, who was nearest and had no way to escape. Harry then did something that was both very brave and very stupid. He took a great running jump and managed to fasten his arms around the troll's neck from behind. The troll couldn't feel Harry hanging there, but even a troll will notice if you stick a long bit of wood up his nose. And Harry's wand had still been in his hand when he jumped. It had gone straight up one of the troll's nostrils. Howling with pain, the troll twisted and flailed its club, with Harry clinging on for dear life. Any second, the troll was going to pick him off and pack him a terrible blow with the club. Hermione had sunk to the floor in fright. Ron pulled out his own wand. Not knowing what he was going to do, he heard himself cry the first spell that came into his head. Wingardium Leviosa. The club grew suddenly rose high up into the air, turned slowly over, and dropped with a sickening crack onto its own stem. The troll swayed on the spot, then fell flat on its face, with a thud that made the whole room tremble.
Body control, route
Harry
running.
got
How about
to his
the way he
feet.
competes for the football?
He was shaking and out of breath. Ron was standing there with his wand still raised, staring at what he had done. It was Hermione who spoke first. Is it dead? I don't think so, said Harry. I think it's just been knocked out.
Back to throw now.
He bent down and pulled his wand out of the
Throw
troll's
left
nose.
side, hauled in by
It was
Pickens.
covered in what looked like lumpy grey goo.
Second and
Troll
5.
boogers. He wiped it on the troll's
They'll get this to his tight end.
A
That's
sudden
Pat
slamming and
Fryer.
loud
They'll
footsteps
get
made
this
the
one
three of
down
them
near
look
the
up.
20-yard
They hadn't
line.
realized what a
Just
racket
shy
they
of
had
the
been
20.
making, but of
That'll go
course
as a
someone
pickup
downstairs
of
must
42
have heard
on
the
the
crash
catch
of
and
the
run.
fall.
So the big play gets
A
them all
moment
the way
later,
down to the
Professor
outskirts of the
McGonagall
red
had come
zone here
bursting
for
into
first
the
and
room,
10.
closely followed by Snape,
To the
with Quirrell
sideline,
bringing
that
up
is
the
a
rear.
heck of a catch
Quirrell
as he
took
was
one
able to
look
get
at the
both
troll,
feet
let out
in.
a faint whimper,
And this
and
game
sat
to the last
quickly
one,
down
they
on
moved
the
the ball
toilet,
over 50
clutching his
yards in
arm.
2 plays. This
Snape bent
offense
over the
continues
troll.
to be a
Professor
they
McGonagall
takes
was
it
in
in.
front of Harry. Harry
Touchdown,
was so
Javonte Williams, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year, and the Commanders take a
What on earth
3-touchdown
were you
lead.
thinking of? Said Professor
Elliott good
McGonagall
on
with
the
cold
extra
fury in her
point,
voice.
and the lead now to
Harry
3
looked at Ron, who
touchdowns
was still
to 21.
standing with his wand in the air. You're lucky you weren't killed. Why aren't you
Now
here,
after the
dormitory?
touchdown, here's Elliott on
Snape
to
gave
kick it
Harry a
away.
swift, piercing look. Harry looked at the floor. He wished Ron would put his wand down.
And no
And a
thought to
small
bring
voice
this
came
one
out
out.
of the
He'll just go
shadows.
down to a knee.
Please,
Professor McGonagall. They were looking for the Steelers' offense now. They get ready to head back on the field.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
It's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure unbridled joy after that one.
They didn't have time to come and fetch anyone. It was about to finish me off when they arrived. Harry and Ron tried to look as though this story wasn't.
He finds his man, complete.
Well,
it's Hall.
in that
And he gets this up across
said
the
Professor
35
McGonagall, staring at the
before
three
he's
of them.
out of bounds.
Miss Granger,
So
you
here's a
foolish
first and
girl.
10
How
at
could you think of
38.
tackling a mountain troll on your own? Hermione hung her head.
Harris running straight ahead. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I think it's some kind of mercy on it.
Man, that's a third and 5 for down this ballgame. And you know the old saying, CD, once is a fluke, twice a coincidence, 3 times becoming a pattern. 3 times is a problem in this case because touchdown Commanders. Doing it again with a first touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Once she's taken off Hermione's. Good of her to get us out of trouble like that, one admitted. Mind you, we did save her. She might not have needed saving if we hadn't locked the thing in with her, Harry reminded him. They had reached the portrait of the fat lady. "Big snout," they said, and entered. The common room was packed and noisy. Everyone was eating the food that had been sent up. Hermione, however, stood alone by the door, waiting for them. There was a very embarrassed pause. Then, none of them looking at each other, they all said, "Thanks," and hurried off to get plates. But from that moment on, Hermione Granger became their friend. There are some things you can't share without ending up liking each other, and knocking out a 12-foot mountain troll is one of them. Chapter 11,
I think that comes from the
Quidditch.
time to go,
As they entered November, the weather turned very cold. The mountains around the school became icy grey, and the lake like chilled steel. Every morning the ground was covered in frost. Hagrid could be seen from the upstairs windows defrosting broomsticks on the Quidditch field, bundled up in a long moleskin overcoat, rapid fur gloves, and
Fans
enormous
usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing
On
from an
Saturday,
offense that
Harry
was
will
truly
be playing
playing
his
at
first
an
matchup
elite level in this contest.
Gryffindor
This game
versus
was over a
Slytherin.
long
If
time ago.
Gryffindor won,
And you
they would
noticed
move up
they
into
did
second
not want to
place in
slow
the
down
House
anything.
Championship.
Absolutely dream scenario
Hardly
for
anyone
everyone
had
on
seen
that
Harry
offense,
play
and they
because
took advantage
Wood
of
had
every
decided
second.
that, as their secret
Guaranteed
weapon,
popcorn
Harry
for
should be
everyone
kept,
in their film session.
well, secret. But the news that he was
So for the
playing
Commanders,
Seeker
it's
leaked
another
out
win
somehow.
for them, and you wonder
Harry
if they
didn't
want
know
to
which
redo
was
on that
worse.
one loss.
People
As
telling
they
him
sit
he'd
now
be
at
brilliant,
14-1,
people telling him
and
he'd
they'll
be
hit the
running
road
around
next week
underneath.
to take on the Minnesota Vikings.
It was really lucky
Meanwhile,
that Harry now had Hermione as a friend. He didn't know how he'd have gotten through all his homework without her, what with all the last-minute Quidditch practice Wood was making them do. She'd also lent him Quidditch Through the Ages, which turned out to be a very interesting read. Harry learned that there were 700 ways of committing a Quidditch foul, and that all of them had happened during a World Cup match in 1473. The Seekers were usually the smallest and fastest players, and that most serious Quidditch accidents seemed to happen to them. That although people rarely died playing Quidditch, referees had been known to vanish and turn up months later in the Sahara Desert. Hermione had become a bit more relaxed about breaking rules since Harry and Ron had saved her from the mountain troll, and she was much nicer for it. The day before Harry's first Quidditch match, the three of them were out in the freezing courtyard during break, and she had conjured them up a bright blue fire that could be carried around in a jam jar. They were standing with their backs to it, getting warm, when Snape crossed the yard. Harry noticed at once that Snape was limping. Harry, Ron, and Hermione moved closer together to block the fire from view. They were sure it wouldn't be allowed. Unfortunately, something about their guilty faces caught Snape's eye. He limped over. He hadn't seen the fire, but he seemed to be looking for a reason to tell them off anyway. "What's that you've got there, Potter?" It was Quidditch through the ages. Harry showed him. "Library books are not to be taken outside the school," said Snape. "Give it to me. 5 points from Gryffindor." "He's just made that rule up," Harry muttered angrily as Snape limped away. "Wonder what's wrong with his leg." "Dunno, but I hope it's really hurting him," said Ron bitterly. The Gryffindor common room was very noisy that evening. Harry, Ron, and Hermione sat together next to a window. Hermione was checking Harry and Ron's charms homework for them. She would never let them copy. "How will you learn?" But by asking her to read it through, they got the right answers anyway. Harry felt restless. He wanted Quidditch through the ages back to take his mind off his nerves about tomorrow. Why should he be afraid of Snape? Getting up, he told Ron and Hermione he was going to ask Snape if he could have it. "Better you than me," they said together. But Harry had an idea that Snape wouldn't refuse if there were other teachers listening. He made his way down to the staff room and knocked. There was no answer. He knocked again. Nothing. Perhaps Snape had left the book in there. It was worth a try. He pushed the door ajar and peered inside, and a horrible scene met his eyes. Snape and Filch were inside alone. Snape was holding his robes above his knees. One of his legs was bloody and mangled. Filch was handing Snape bandages. "Plastic thing," Snape was saying. "How are you supposed to keep your eyes on all 3 heads at once?" Harry tried to shut the door quietly, but Snape's face was twisted with fury as he dropped his robes quickly to hide his leg. Harry gulped. "I just wondered if I could have my book back." "Out! Out!" Harry left before Snape could take any more points from Gryffindor. He sprinted back upstairs. "Did you get it?" Ron asked as Harry joined them. "What's the matter?" In a low whisper, Harry told them what he'd seen. "You know what this means?" he finished breathlessly. "He tried to get past that 3-headed dog at Halloween. That's where he was going when we saw him. He's after whatever it's guarding. And I'd bet my broomstick he let that troll in to make a diversion." Hermione's eyes were wide. "No, he wouldn't," she said. "I know he's not very nice, but he wouldn't try and steal something Dumbledore was keeping safe." "Honestly, Hermione, you think all teachers are saints or something," snapped Ron. "I'm with Harry. I wouldn't put anything past Snape. But what's he after? What's that dog guarding?" Harry went to bed with his head buzzing with the same question. Neville was snoring loudly, but Harry couldn't sleep. He tried to empty his mind. He needed to sleep. He had to. He had his first Quidditch match in a few hours. But the expression on Snape's face when Harry had seen his leg wasn't easy to forget. The next morning dawned very bright. The great hall was full of the delicious smell of fried sausages and the cheerful chatter of everyone looking forward.
Week of the regular season, week 16, we've got a battle in store between the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills.
Harry felt terrible. In an hour's time, he'd be walking onto the field. Harry,
Charles Davis and CD, you look at the Bills in this matchup, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side of the ball.
said
Yeah,
Harry,
they totally
watching
understand it, not
Seamus
just
pile
by
ketchup
running the
on his
numbers, but those
sausages.
numbers do play into it because
By
you
11
got one
o'clock,
of the better
the whole
passing
school
offenses in
seemed
the
to
league,
be
a
out
top
in the
10 unit,
stands around the
going
Quidditch
up against
pitch.
one of the poor
Many
defenses
students
in the
had
league.
binoculars.
So I think we're going to see
These
these
might
guys
be
take some
raised
shots
high in the
downfield,
air, but it was
but right
still
from the
difficult to
start,
see
I
what was
expect them to
going on
attack and
sometimes.
get right after them.
Ron and Hermione joined Neville, Seamus, and Dean, the West Ham fan, up in the top row. As a surprise for Harry, they had painted a large banner on one of the sheets Scabbers had ruined. It said, Potter for President.
And we are
And Dean, who was good at drawing, had done a large Gryffindor lion underneath. Then Hermione had performed a tricky little charm so that the paint would flash different colours.
And now a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
Cleared his throat for silence. Okay, men, he said. And women, said Chaser and Juliana Johnson. And women, agreed. This is it, the big one, said Fred Weasley. The one we've all been waiting for, said George. We know Oliver's speech by heart, Fred told Harry. We were on the team last year. Shut up, you two, said Wood. This is the best team Gryffindor's had in years. We are going to win. I know it. Never the ball in the same else. Right, it's time. Good luck.
Late in the year, their first meeting was not too long ago, back in week 13, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And they get him down, but
Adam Bush was referee. He stood in the middle of the field, waiting for the
14 yards, and the Bills are getting a new set of downs.
No,
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Harry noticed that he seemed to be speaking particularly to the slithering captain, Marcus Flint, a 6th year. Harry thought Flint looked as if he had some troll blood in him. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw the fluttering banner high above, flashing Potter for president over the crowd. His heart skipped.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We're always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
15 brooms rose
so
up
into
high,
territory now.
high
Here's
into the
first
air.
and 10
They were
at
up.
the 47.
And the quaffle is taken immediately by Angelina Johnson of Gryffindor. What an excellent chaser that girl is, and rather attractive too.
And they're going to get
Jordan.
this down near the 35
Sorry, Professor.
line.
The Weasley twins' friend, Lee Jordan, was doing the commentary for the match, closely watched by Professor McGonagall. And she's really hunting along up there. And he passed Ulysses Spinnet, a good friend of Oliver Wood's, last year only a reserve, back to Professor. And no, the Slytherins can take the quaffle. Slytherin captain Marcus Flint gains the quaffle, and off he goes. Flint flying like an eagle up there. He's going to score
Bit of a magnet,
by
and
an excellent move by Gryffindor people, and the Gryffindors take the quaffle. That's Chaser Katie Bell of the Gryffindor there. Nice dive around Flint, off up the field, and ouch! That must have hurt. Hit in the back of the head by a bludger. Quaffle taken by the Slytherins. That's Adrian Gibson speeding off
bit of a magnet, and he's
but he's caught by a second bludger. Sent his way by Fred or George Weasley, can't tell which. Nice play by the Gryffindor Peter anyway, and Johnson back in possession of the quaffle. Clear field ahead, and off she goes. She's really flying. Dodges a speaking bludger, and ball goes ahead. Oh, come on now, Angelina. Keep the richly dives the miss. Gryffindors score! Gryffindor cheers filled the cold air with howls and roars from the Slytherins. Watch out there, Overlord.
These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories.
Ron and Hermione
You
squeeze
see
together
that
to
kind
give
of
Hagrid
advancing into
enough
this game,
space to
don't you?
join.
You certainly do.
Be
When
watching
you have a
from
team
beyond,
that doesn't get too
said
full of
Hagrid,
itself,
pouting a
even though
large
they've
pair
won
of
2 games in a
binoculars
row,
round his neck.
you
But
get
it isn't
the
the same
result
as
that we
being
saw
in the
there.
crowd.
Nice
No
opening
sign
drive
of the
because
snitch yet, eh?
they're
Nope,
focused
said
and they're
Ron.
locked into
Harry hasn't
everything
had
that
much to
they're
do
doing.
yet. Kept out of trouble though, that's something, said Hagrid, raising his binoculars and peering skyward at the spectrum of Harry. Way up above them, Harry was gliding over the game, squinting about for some sign of the snitch.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Sight of the snitch, Wood had said, "We don't want you attacked before you come to me." When Angelina has scored, Harry had done a couple of
here come the Patriots now to take over on offense.
Now he was back to staring around for the snitch. Once he caught sight of a flash of gold, but it was just a reflection from one of the Weasley's wristwatches. And once the bludger decided to come pelting his way, more like a cannonball than anything, but Harry dodged it, and Fred Weasley came chasing after it. "All right there, Harry!" He had time to yell as he beat the bludger furiously towards Marcus Flint. Slytherin in possession. Lee Jordan was saying, "Chaser Juicy ducks 2 bludgers, 2 Weasleys, and Chaser Bell, and squeeze toward the... Wait a minute! Was that the snitch?" A murmur ran through the crowd as Adrian Pusey dropped the quaffle, too busy looking over his shoulder at the flash of gold that had passed his left ear. Harry saw it. In a great rush of excitement, he dived downward after the streak of gold. Slytherin secret terrace had succeeded. He let the hurl towards the snitch. All the chasers seemed to have forgotten what they were supposed to be doing as they hung in midair to watch him. Harry was faster than Hicks. He could see the thread of the ball, wings fluttering, darting overhead. He put on an extra spurt of speed. A roar of rage echoed from the Gryffindors below. Marcus Flint had blocked Harry on purpose, and Harry's broom spun off course. Harry holding on for dear life. "Foul!" screamed the Gryffindors. Madam Hooch spoke angrily to Flint and then ordered a free shot at the goalpost for Gryffindor. But in all the confusion, of course, the golden snitch had disappeared from sight again. Down in the stands, Dean Thomas was yelling, "Send him off, ref! Red card!" "What are you talking about, Dean?" said one. "Red card," said Dean furiously. "In soccer, you get shown the red card and you're out of the game." "But this isn't soccer, Dean," one reminded him. Hagrid, however, was on Dean's side. "They ought to change the rules. Flint could have knocked Harry out of the air." Lee Jordan was finding it difficult not to take sides. "So, after that obvious and disgusting bit of cheating, Jordan," growled Professor McGonagall. "I mean, after that open and revolting foul, Jordan, I'm warning you." All right. Flint nearly kills the Gryffindor seeker, which could happen to anyone, I'm sure. So a penalty to Gryffindor, taken by Flint, who puts it away, no trouble, and we continue playing with Gryffindor still in possession. It was as Harry dodged another bludgeon which went spinning dangerously past his head that it happened. His broom gave a sudden frightened lurch. For a split second he thought he was going to fall. He gripped the broom tightly with both his hands and knees. He'd never felt anything like that. It happened again. It was as though the broom was trying to buck him off. The Nimbus 2000 did not suddenly decide to buck their riders off. Harry tried to turn back toward the Gryffindor goalpost. He had half a mind to ask Wood to call timeout. Then he realized that his broom was completely out of his control. He couldn't turn it. He couldn't direct it at all. It was zigzagging through the air and every now and then making violent swishing movements that almost unseated him.
And he'll just take a
Lee
seat in the
was still
driver to get it to
commentating.
25-yard
Slytherin in possession. Flint with the quaffle. Passes Spinnet. Passes Bell. Hard in the face by a bludgeon. Oh, his notes. Only joking, Professor. Slytherin score.
It's 1st and 10.
Oh.
Jones
No.
in the Pats now with
The
a 1st and
Slytherins
10.
were cheering.
At their own
No one seemed to have
25-yard
noticed that
line.
Harry's broom was behaving strangely.
Right away, and
It
that's
was
completed
carrying
on the
him
right
slowly
side.
higher,
He'll be dropped
away from the
after a
game,
gain of about
jerking and
6
twitching as
across
it
the
went.
30 to the
I know what
31.
Harry thinks he's doing. Hagrid mumbled. He stared through his binoculars. If I didn't know better, I say he'd lost control of his broom. But he can't have. Suddenly, people were pointing up at Harry all over the stands. His broom has started to roll over and over, with him only just managing to hold on. Then the whole crowd gasped. Harry's broom had given a wild jerk, and Harry swung off it. He was now dangling from it, holding on with only one hand. Did something happen to it when Flint blocked him? Seamus whispered. "Can't have," Hagrid said, his voice shaking. "Can't nothing interfere with a broomstick. Extra powerful dark magic. No king could do that to a Nimbus 2000." At these words, Hermione seized Hagrid's binoculars, but instead of looking up at Harry, she started looking frantically at the crowd. What are you doing, moaned Ron, gray-faced. I knew it, Hermione gasped. Snape!
Down 3 scores already. This
Ron
game was
grabbed the
really in danger
binoculars.
of getting away
Snape
from
was
them.
in
They
the
needed
middle
to
of the
drive like that,
stands
especially
opposite
on the
them.
road.
He had his eyes fixed on Harry and was muttering
But maybe
non-stop
tamp
under
down
his
the
breath.
crowd a little bit,
He's
because
doing
everything was
something.
against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very
What should
easily,
we do?
but instead,
Leave
the
it to me.
calming drive.
Before
now
one
they
could
have
say
a little
another
bit more
word,
confidence.
Hermione
Okay,
had
back in.
disappeared.
All right, we're ready to go.
Ron turned the
That was
binoculars
impressive.
back on
The
Harry.
defense now
His
needs to
broom was
reciprocate.
vibrating so hard it was almost impossible for him to hang on much longer. The whole crowd was on its feet, watching, terrified, as the Weasleys flew up to try and pull Harry safely onto one of their brooms. It was no good. Every time they got near him, the broom jumped higher still. They dropped lower, circled beneath him, obviously hoping to catch him if he fell. Marcus Flint seized the bottle and scored 5 times without anyone noticing.
And both of these teams
Come
want to
on,
clear things
Hermione.
up about how
Ron
they feel
muttered
about
desperately.
each other.
Hermione had
standing
fought
in
her
the
way
league.
across to the
Because these
stand
two
where
teams,
Snape
they've
stood
really been the
and
cream
was
of
now
the crop
racing
in their
along the
division.
road
So
behind
this
him.
game,
She
it's
didn't
been
even
looming
stop
on
to say
both of
sorry
their
as she
schedules.
knocked Professor Quirrell headfirst into the road in front. Reaching Snape, she crouched down, pulled out her wand, and whispered a few well-chosen words. Bright blue flames shot from her wand onto the hem of Snape's robes. It took perhaps 30 seconds for Snape to realize that he was on fire. A sudden yelp told her she had done her job. Scooping the fire off him into a little jar in her pocket, she scrambled back along the road. Snape would never know what had happened. It was enough. Up in the air, Harry was suddenly able to clamber back onto his broom. Neville, you can look, Ron said. Neville had been sobbing into Hagrid's jacket for the last 5 minutes. Harry was speeding toward the ground when the crowd saw him clap his hand to his mouth as though he were about to be sick. He hit the field on all fours, coughing, and something gold fell into his hand. I've got the stick, he shouted, waving it above his head, and the game ended in complete confusion.
He's looking at me
He
like I'm
didn't
crazy.
catch it. He nearly swallowed it. Flint was still howling 20 minutes later. It made no difference. Harry hadn't broken any rules, and Lee Jordan was still happily shouting the results. Gryffindor had won by 170 points to 60. Harry heard none of this, though. He was being made a cup of strong tea back in Hagrid's hut with Ron and Hermione. It was Snape, Ron was explaining. Hermione and I saw him. He was cursing your broomstick, muttering. He wouldn't take his eyes off you. Rubbish, said Hagrid, who hadn't heard a word of what had gone on next to him in the stands. Why would Snape do something like that? Harry, Ron and Hermione looked at one another, wondering what to tell him. Harry decided on the truth. I found out something about him, he told Hagrid. He tried to get past that three-headed dog on Halloween. It bit him. We think he was trying to steal whatever it's got. Hagrid dropped the teapot. Oh, do you know about Fluffy? He said. Fluffy? Yeah, he's mine. Bought him off a Greek chappie I met in the pub last year. I sent him to Dumbledore to guard the... Yes, said Harry eagerly. No, don't ask me any more, said Hagrid gruffly. That's top secret, that is. But Snape's trying to steal it. Rubbish, said Hagrid again. Snape's a Hogwarts teacher. He'll do nothing of the sort. So why did he just try and kill Harry? Cried Hermione. The afternoon's events certainly seem to have changed her mind about Snape. I know a jinx when I see one, Hagrid. I've read all about them. You've got to keep eye contact, and Snape wasn't blinking at all. I saw him. I'm telling you, you're wrong, said Hagrid hotly. I don't know why Harry's broom acted like that, but Snape wouldn't try and kill a student. Now, listen to me, all three of you. You're meddling in things that don't concern you. It's dangerous. You forget that dog, and you forget what it's got. That's between Professor Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel. Aha, said Harry. So there's someone called Nicholas Flamel involved, is there? Hagrid
And he'll get this underneath to Singletary. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Chapter 12.
This
The
is a
Mirror
second and
of
4,
Erised.
ball at the 9.
Christmas was coming. One morning in mid-December, Hogwarts woke to find itself covered in several feet of snow.
This is caught.
The lake froze solid. The Weasley twins were punished for bewitching several snowballs so that they followed Quirrell around, bouncing off the back of his turban. The few owls that managed to battle their way through the stormy sky to deliver mail had to be nursed back to health by Hagrid before they could fly off again. No one could wait for the holidays to start. While the Gryffindor Common Room and the Great Hall had roaring fires, the drafty corridors had become icy and a bitter wind rattled the windows in the classrooms. Worst of all were Professor Snape's classes down in the dungeons, where their breath rose in a mist before them, and they kept as close as possible to their hot cauldrons. I do feel so sorry, said Draco Malfoy, one portion's class, for all those people who have to stay at Hogwarts for Christmas because they're not wanted at home. He was looking over at Harry as he spoke. Crabbe and Goyle chuckled. Harry, who was measuring out powdered spine of lionfish, ignored them. Malfoy had been even more unpleasant than usual since the Quidditch match. Disgusted that the Slytherins had lost, he had tried to get everyone laughing at how a wide-mouthed tree frog would be replacing Harry as Seeker next. Then he realized that nobody found this funny, because they were all so impressed at the way Harry had managed to stay on his bucking broomstick. So Malfoy, jealous and angry, had gone back to taunting Harry about having no proper family. It was true that Harry wasn't going back to Privet Drive for Christmas. Professor McGonagall had come round the week before, making a list of students. And Harry had signed up at once. He didn't feel sorry for himself at all. It would probably be the best Christmas he'd ever had. Ron and his brothers were staying too, because Mr. and Mrs. Weasley were going to Romania to visit Charlie. When they left the dungeons at the end of potions, they found a large curtain blocking the corridor ahead. Two enormous feet sticking out at the bottom, and a loud puffing sound told them that Hagrid was behind it. "Hi, Hagrid. Want any help?" Ron asked, sticking his head through the branches. I'm all right, thanks, Ron. Would you mind moving out of the way? Came Malfoy's cold drawl from behind him. Are you trying to earn some extra money, Weasley? Hoping to be gamekeeper yourself when you leave Hogwarts, I suppose? That hut of Hagrid's must seem like a palace compared to what your family's used to. Ron dived at Malfoy just as Snape came up the stairs. Ron let go of the front of Malfoy's robes. He was provoked, Professor Snape, said Hagrid, sticking his huge hairy face out from behind the tree. Malfoy was insulting his family. Be that as it may, fighting is against Hogwarts rules, Hagrid, said Snape silkily. 5 points from Gryffindor, Weasley. Be grateful it isn't more. Move along, all of you. Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle pushed roughly past the tree, scattering needles everywhere, and smirking. I'll get him, said Ron, grinding his teeth at Malfoy's back. One of these days, I'll get him. I hate them both, said Harry, Malfoy, and Snape. Come on, cheer up, it's nearly Christmas, said Hagrid. Tell you what, come with me and see the Great Hall. Looks a treat. So the three of them followed Hagrid and his tree off to the Great Hall, where Professor McGonagall and Professor Flitwick were busy with the Christmas decorations. Ah, Hagrid! The last tree! Put it in the far corner, would you? The hall looked spectacular. Festoons of holly and mistletoe hung all around the walls, and no less than 12 towering Christmas trees stood around it, some sparkling with tiny icicles, some glittering with hundreds of candles. How many days you got left till your holidays? Hagrid asked. Just one, said Hermione. And that reminds me, Harry, Ron, we've got half an hour before lunch. We should be in the library. Oh yeah, you're right, said Ron, tearing his eyes away from Professor Flitwick, who had golden bubbles blossoming out of his wand and was trailing them over the branches of the new tree. The library, said Hagrid, following them out of the hall. Just before the holidays? Bit keen, aren't you? Oh, we're not working, Harry told him brightly. Never said you meant.
To throw, it's Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be... Shy of the 40. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Play action. Now it's Allen on the move to his left. And he rifles one incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of him. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. He's got it. Touchdown. Devin Singletary from 8 yards out, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Title pass now for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
So the Patriots coming out now.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They run again with Hunt. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and 2, Jones. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Operating from the gun, Jones. His pass caught at the 4. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard.
They run right side with Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Jones. And it's caught. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
On first down, Allen. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen. And this one incomplete. Contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Allen going to throw.
He's got the hook up with Diggs. He's got room at the 30, down the left sideline, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go right back to Singletary. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. And this offense on 3rd down today, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time it's 3rd and 3. Going up top. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Buffalo, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas